Sub-Saharan Africa is facing a tough economic year. While IMF projects growth at just 3.6%, high debt, inflation and social unrest are putting pressure on recovery efforts. Our next report delves into the economic pressures gripping African countries. Take a look.
Sub-Saharan Africa faces a challenging economic landscape in 2024. IMF forecasts regional growth at 3.6%, but pressures from debt and inflation remain high. In almost one quarter of countries, interest payments now exceed 20% of revenue, making funds for essential development projects increasingly scarce. Although efforts to stabilize are underway, macroeconomic imbalances persist, with public debt averaging 58% of GDP and one-third of countries still facing double-digit inflation. Resource-intensive nations, particularly oil exporters, are also under strain, growing at half the pace of the rest of the region. The region's economic challenges are compounded by social and environmental pressures. Social unrest is escalating, driven by rising living costs, high unemployment, and concerns over governance. Meanwhile, climate-related disruptions are on the rise. This year alone, droughts, floods, and extreme weather events impacted key economies like Malawi, Zambia, and Madagascar, damaging agricultural output and worsening food insecurity. These pressures contribute to an environment of fragility, complicating efforts to implement necessary fiscal and monetary reforms. Financing remains a critical barrier to economic stability in sub-Saharan Africa. With domestic debt markets saturated and Eurobond yields as high as 10.7%, many nations face difficulty accessing affordable funding. Global uncertainties add further risk, with geopolitical conflicts and economic slowdowns in major economies like China and the United States impacting the region. This tight financial landscape forces policymakers into difficult decisions, balancing fiscal adjustments with social needs while navigating limited access to foreign reserves. For one-third of countries, it is below the critical 3-month import cover. As the IMF highlights, addressing these issues will require careful reform and enhanced resilience building strategies across the region. Business Bureau WION World is One.